In my last video, the return of Jesus is not for centuries. I ended up doing two because there was not enough time to fit everything in the one 10-minute range. And in the second part, the final part, I end by saying there is another point 2 centuries away. And that's what I was here to share with you. And I thought I'd do it in this way, rather than in frames and my reading over. Because I don't want this to come over as something overly dogmatic or something I wish to, enforce. I just wish to share it as an understanding, as a possibility. And so what I'm sharing is, why I'm sharing, is so you can see for yourself that it is a possibility as an understanding following the thinking I'm about to share. In order to do this, I'm going to read from Daniel chapter 9. Starting at verse 23. At the beginning of your supplications, the command went out, and I have come to tell you, for you are greatly beloved. Therefore consider the matter, and understand the vision. 70 weeks are determined for your people, and for your holy city, to finish the transgression, to make an end of sins, to make reconciliation for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the command to restore and build Jerusalem until Messiah the Prince, there shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. I'll stop there. Okay. A number of things are here, and I shall go through them. There is 70 weeks. Weeks is a sevens. It's the Hebrew SHABUA. And when you said to somebody, I'll see you next week, you used to say to them, I'll see you in a sevens. But it was understood as sevens of days. And so, you don't usually say, I'll see you in a sevens of years, unless you know you're going, to be put away somewhere. But a sevens. And so 77s are given. 70 times 7 is 490. Of days, 490 days. Of years, 490 years. Now what's kind of interesting is the next bit. He says 62 weeks and 7 weeks till Messiah being cut off. Now that is 49 plus 62 sevens, which makes up 483. Now, it's from what point? Well, the point is very clear. From the command to give, to rebuild Jerusalem. Now, we know that from from Nehemiah. That is the 20th of Artaxerxes, because that is the year that the command was given, and Nehemiah then went to go and rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. It's not to rebuild the temple, is to rebuild Jerusalem, Daniel was told. And so Artaxerxes came to the throne in 474 BC. So in 454 BC, it's the 20th year, the command was given to rebuild Jerusalem. Now, 483 years from 454 BC is 29 AD. Now, if Jesus was born in 4 BC, since there is a dispute of timing of his birth, some say 7 BC. Then 29 AD was when he was 33 and he was crucified. And Daniel was told, making an end of sins, reconciliation and so on. But that's not all that was said to Daniel. And so I don't want to labour that point. I just want to give another point of 77s. We've had years just mentioned, because prophecy, when it talks about someone or something, it talks about everything regarding that person. Some are from the first one period of time to another period. For example, in Isaiah we're told, unto us a child is born, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. Now, this is about Jesus. Now, unto us a child is born, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. All this is about the same person, but when you look in terms of time, it's like seeing two mountains far apart. But from one angle you only think there's one range, but in fact there's a long period of time between the two ranges of mountains. Jesus' birth and the second coming, and the millennium rule. But unto him shall be the government, the Messiah that the Jews are still waiting for. And Daniel was told, it's for your people and your city. And we're told that Jesus is coming back to Jerusalem to rule from there. So I was asking the Lord, reading this passage a few years ago, and saying, well, what's 77s of what if the sealing of vision and prophecy is to happen, as per verse 24? And then my attention was drawn to the context. Daniel had been reading Jeremiah, and in Jeremiah the people of Israel were told, look, you're going to go into exile for 70 years, and every year you're in exile is a representation of 7 years when you didn't implement one of those years as a Sabbath for the land. So I'm enforcing this Sabbath by sending you into exile, but after the 70 years you're going to come back. And so there was a context there. And Daniel also knew from Moses that when the people of Israel were going to be sinful and wicked, the Lord was going to punish them and send them into exile. But then wherever they're going to go, if they repent and return, the Lord promised to bring them back. So Daniel, in beginning chapter 9, he's beginning to pray for his people, confess their sins, and supplicate, and in the knowledge that through Jeremiah he said, look, soon you're going to come back. And so Daniel was playing his part. And then the Lord sent an angel to Daniel to explain to him what's going to happen. And so 77 of years already we can see is appointed to Jesus' first coming and the crucifixion. The 77s of sevens, because a group of 7 years equals 1 year of exile, that gives us 490 times 7, 3,430 years. Now, if we had that thinking about that as the second coming in the 1000 AD, we'd think, oh, no way, or even 2000 AD, only 8 years ago. We'd say, no way. And even now people are saying no way. But as I explained in my last 2 videos, if you know the Roman earth involved the Middle East, the Near East, the whole of Western Europe, the whole Mediterranean region, the whole of North Africa, and there would be 10 distinct realms within this one Roman earth kingdom. 10. At the moment there are many more. Already the EEC is established, but that's only one small portion of that whole Roman earth that was. And so I think there's a long time to go, personally, because the alternative is to say Jesus is coming near. And Jesus clearly said, many will come in my name claiming the time is near. Do not follow them. And I'm not doing that. I'm saying to you, look, you can see from Scripture, it can be centuries away. And there's reasons why. And if God has set himself a limit and a time when, then that's a possibility. Of course, some will say, you don't know the day nor the hour. No man knows. But I'm not giving you the day or the hour. We're given the month anyway, in Zechariah. Feast of Tabernacles, that's when we celebrate the Lord's return. So we've got the month anyway. So could be the year. But this is a possibility. No more. It's an understanding. And that's why I'm here sharing. I hope you enjoyed.
you.